as somebody said, once been a big week in football. Andrew Demetriou, good morning.
Good morning, Neil.
What do you want to play a final at Geelong for?
Well, we've got this unique situation, Neil, where we've got 4 finals in Melbourne, and whichever way you cut it, I mean, Hawthorn finished on top. They are entitled to play at the MCG. We know that Collingwood, that's where they play the majority of their games. And we've got Richmond, who should play at the MCG. And you could argue that Geelong, who finished second, should play at the MCG or Etihad Stadium. But the problem that we've got, we can't play 4 games at the MCG over a weekend. We then look to the alternatives. One is Etihad Stadium. The other one, of course, is Simmons Stadium, which now has a capacity of almost 33,000. And that's the sort of crowd we would expect at Etihad Stadium. And, given that Geelong finished second, and we do have this policy of, as a one-off, where teams have earned the right to host a final, we don't see why we wouldn't contemplate it. So, I mean, that is a serious consideration, Neil, and we'll look at it once all the final 8 combinations are finalised over the weekend.
So there is a strong possibility of a Geelong final, is it?
There certainly is, and it would be a wonderful thing for Geelong. I mean, they've got lights now, they've got a much larger capacity. It'll be a great thing for that town. I mean, they did finish second. They are entitled to get some advantage now, so it is a real possibility.
Okay, do you feel a bit of sympathy for Doc Reid from Essendon? He's going through a tough time, and he, if on what's been published, he seems to have a pretty good defence in the letter he wrote.
Look, no, there's no doubt that Doc Reid has been a wonderful and loyal servant to the Essendon Football Club over a long period of time. He's highly regarded by many, many people in the industry, and many people who've not only served the club have become his family doctor and so forth. And this is a very difficult period for him. He is absolutely entitled to defend his case, which he's asked for yesterday. He's got his professional reputation, his long history in the game, his medical practicing certificate, and I think all of those things weigh heavily now. And I understand why he's taking it further, and it will be heard at a point in time. But there's no doubt that his is a very complex situation, and one which you couldn't help but sympathise with.
Do you think James Hird's apology has been sufficient? He didn't quite seem to get it yet. He didn't think he'd done anything wrong. Look,
Neil, I can only go by on the apology that he gave to the Commission, which I was sat in, and it was a very sincere and genuine apology.
Has he done that publicly, though?
Well, what happens once James leaves here and he then gets various people talking to him, the so-called PR spin doctors or whatever, I don't think are doing him a great service, because his apology to us was very genuine, Neil, very genuine, and we've accepted his apology. These other guys running around as sideshows, the so-called experts, I don't think they're doing anyone any favours now.
You mean the sort of spin doctors in the background? Spin
doctors and some of the legal advisors. I just think they, their behaviour, Neil, has been very, very interesting.
What do you mean interesting?
Interesting in, I think they haven't done a great service to their client.
What, you think it's damaged Hird and Essendon?
Well, this whole thing's been damaging to everybody who's been involved.
Yeah, but it's been aggravated by the spin doctors.
Well, I think, as I said now, I mean, they've I don't know how they're going to go. I don't know how they're going to go drumming up business into the future now.
Who? The spin doctors?
Yeah.
Okay. You're being very careful. That way, you think we get a crowd for Essendon and Richmond? You reckon they'll turn out?
Yeah, I do now, because look, the Essendon supporters and the players here are the innocent victims in this whole situation. You can't help but feel for Essendon supporters who follow their team, who do it passionately. They're one of the great clubs in our competition, and they have supported their club all year, only to find out they're not playing in the finals. And the players also, Neil, have played their hearts out, have been remarkable throughout this whole saga, and I think they will come along to support their team, because they've done it all year. And hopefully we can put this behind us, because they shouldn't bear the brunt of what's happened throughout all this, albeit that they have.
Yep.
They are remarkably resilient, and they'll come out and support them. And, Richmond are also playing to get fifth spot now.
National Football League in the United States have reached a $765 million settlement over hiding the dangers of concussion from players. Is there any implications here for Australian football?
No, I think there's some learnings there which we've been at the forefront of. Particularly, we had the first ever World Concussion Conference earlier this year. Their problems are very specific to their code, particularly with the use of helmets. Notwithstanding that, we've made sure that we've been very proactive in introducing rules to mitigate the risk of concussion and mitigate the risk of these things happening into the future. And we've got the world's foremost experts in this area supporting us.
Do you support State of Origin? I see the debate's back with the players liking the idea. Do you want State of Origin footy or not?
I don't know if State of Origin will be what it will be. They're looking for a pinnacle game, Neil, whether that's a State of Origin or an All-Stars or an Indigenous All-Stars. But there is support from the players, and if we can somehow come up with something which the public will support, that'll be considered over the coming weeks.
Yeah, it's interesting because the sort of state games weren't a big hit in the end, were they?
No, and that's because we just got such a national competition now. So that when Adelaide now are playing Collingwood, that's almost like State of Origin. And, we shouldn't artificially try and create what they've created in rugby league. I mean, we've got the best club football in the country. They've got the best, state-by-state rivalry going round. And we've got the best national code in cricket and soccer, and probably rugby in that case. So we are all what we are. We know what our strengths are. We know what our weaknesses are.
Now, you did promise me exclusive details on the grand final entertainment.
I did not promise you
that.
Yes,
you did.
All will be revealed on Monday now.
Oh, what? Monday?
Finals announcements.
All right, you're going to tell us who's singing?
Oh, all of it, yes. On Monday.
Yeah, who? Oh, on Monday. Are you going to tell us if Up There Kazali will be performed? One day in September?
There's a strong possibility if we can locate the certain individual who sings that song. I won't mention his name now because I don't want to spoil the party, who's apparently somewhere in Spain.
Yeah, he's wandering the world. We'll get him back. I told him before he went we had to get him back. And we'll be singing along like a soccer crowd, will we?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, that'll be lovely. All right, then that's announced Monday.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Neil. Bye-bye.
Andrew Demetriou, Chief. Yes, we've won it. We've won it. Mike Brady's back at the grand finals.